All right. Hey, everybody. This is Ryan Boyles. I am starting off the IBM Insight Chat, and we are here again to talk about a curriculum, piece of the curriculum for this year's conference. And not only do you have questions and things from Ryan, you have Carol Hopke on the line to help me co-host today's chat. So welcome, Carol.
Hi, thanks. Glad to be here.
Cool. And where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Nashua, New Hampshire.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I am calling in from Wake Forest, North Carolina, or as I like to call it, IBM Wake Forest, as per usual. And I want to introduce our two guests for the day. We have two of our folks that are going to really go through data and integration as that key part of the IT and data science curriculum this year at the Insight Conference. And I want to go ahead and introduce Rob Apmann and Andrew Popp. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well, Ryan. Thanks. Good morning.
Yeah, we're doing really well. Thank you.
So where are you guys calling in from?
I'm calling in from Westminster, Colorado. We finally cracked down into the 30-degree mark in the mornings here, so it feels like fall all of a sudden, which is nice.
I'm calling in from Ottawa, Canada. So yeah, we also have our igloos out and looking forward to the winter.
Yeah. You know what? There's a chill in the air here for the first time, so I could see my breath when I took the doggy out for a walk this morning. All right. Well, let's get underway. We really have just three simple questions that we're going to go through today, and I want to kick it over to Carol to get us started.
Great. Thanks, Ryan. So, Rob and Andrew, so what is happening this year at Insight in your areas? Rob, why don't we start with you, and why don't you share with us?
Sure. Yeah, Carol. So we have a lot going on. The integration and governance topic area is pretty broad this year. It covers a lot of topics, but we're covering topics we've traditionally covered, so master data management, information integration, data quality, data governance, as well as the data lifecycle management or the Optum portfolio. That's all part of this topic area. And then also sort of new this year, we're covering the entity analytics area as well as information lifecycle governance. For those of you who might have gone to the show the last couple of years, the enterprise content management or the ECM area really covered information lifecycle governance and the Stored IQ products. And so this year we've switched things up a little bit, and you'll find the Stored IQ product area as part of the integration and governance topic zone.
Awesome, great. Yeah. How about you, Andrew?
That's a good point.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to just jump in and say that you're bringing up a good point. We had a hangout last week with a couple of guests where we talked about the ECM part of the curriculum as well. So I'm giving a shameless plug for everyone to go check out that hangout for those details.
Great, Andrew. How about you? What's going on in your area this year?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on as well. So I'm primarily involved in the Hadoop, Spark, and open source track. So IBM is continuing to make a big investment with respect to open source. So Hadoop and Spark sort of play a pivotal role in that. So we've got 35 plus sessions, and we're really covering everything literally from Hadoop, Spark, open source, streams. And we're really trying to focus on bringing in not only IBM's perspective, but we also have a lot of information from customers and partners. So at the sessions, people can expect to hear from subject matter experts in terms of roadmaps, what are we doing, what's going on, and then also hear from customers who are actually using some of the applications. So for example, with Spark, we made a lot of noise back in June with the Spark Signature Moment, really following up a lot of that momentum by showing exactly what our customers doing with Spark. And then kind of what's overarching for our session is definitely talking about the data science profession. So data science really covers off a lot of the technologies in Hadoop, Spark, and open source. So we're pretty excited about it, and you know, we've really tried to cover a wide spectrum of sort of requirements and sort of skill sets in terms of what's going to be delivered.
Great, thanks.
That's cool. So can you tell, are there any sort of, what do you see in terms of like panel discussions for this type of stuff? Is there, what sort of focus are you giving to that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So maybe I'll take a shot at that one first. So yeah, we've got one panel discussion. So we've got something around the ODPI. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the ODPI, that's the Open Data Platform Consortium. And what we're trying to do there is, for those who are kind of a little bit more fluent in Hadoop sort of speak, one of the big challenges with Hadoop is there's a lot of open source moving parts. So what ODPI does is it really tries to normalize on the distributions. So we, along with 30 other companies, started the ODPI consortium. So we thought the best way to deliver information about that is to deliver it, as you suggest, in a panel format. So we've got in this panel, we've got vendors such as IBM, we've got customers, and we've also got service providers, because they're all the people, they're all the different groups that are really concerned about how do you deploy Hadoop, how do you sell Hadoop, and how do I add value to Hadoop. So yeah, we've got a panel discussion around ODPI.
That's great. So I want to kick the floor back over to Rob to talk about what sort of breakout sessions can we expect over in the integration and governance side of the house.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, for integration and governance, we've got a pretty big track this year. We've got over 90 sessions, in fact, closer to 100 on the top end of 90 there. This year, we consistently every year we get feedback that you really like to hear from your peers, our customers, about how they're succeeding, and have that opportunity maybe to find out who those people are and catch up with them in the hall later on and ask them some questions. So close to half of the 90 plus sessions this year are going to be customer sessions, and a few business partners as well mixed in there. But that's a pretty big increase over previous years for us. Hopefully you'll find that valuable. At the same time, I know every year everybody comes back for our what we call our deep dive sessions. We get our lead product managers on stage, right, and talk about what's new in the product, what's coming up in the product. Those sessions will still be there. We'll have those covering the information server portfolio, the master data management portfolio, as well as the opt-in portfolio. So really all those typical sessions you might be familiar with from the years past, plus a lot more customer sessions. One more thing I just want to throw out there too. We do have in the expo area, we have the Meet the Expert sessions as well. So we don't happen to have any panels this year, but we will have, I think there are 4 different Meet the Expert sessions that'll be running. It's a chance to go talk one-on-one or maybe a couple-on-one with some of the experts, not just hear a presentation, but you get to ask questions there.
Great, thanks. So what else is happening? So you guys have breakout sessions, and you talked about your panels. What other things are going on for your areas at the conference, whether it be super sessions, expos, things like that? What else do you have going on? Rob, why don't we start with you?
Sure. Yeah, so probably our big other event would be we have a super session on 2:30 on Tuesday, and that'll basically be an opportunity for our senior product and offering management folks to talk to you about a little bit about what we've been doing and a little bit about where we're headed and how we'll help you address your challenges down the road. But outside of the super session, though, we have our expo area, and so we put a lot of effort into giving you an opportunity to come and really just have more in-depth conversations with the experts. So if you come to the Integration and Governance Expo area, which will be in the larger expo floor, we'll have experts standing by there to answer your questions. We also have the analytics demo room, which is very nearby, and so the analytics demo room, you can go over and see a demonstration of the products, talk to some of the engineers who are actually working on the products. And in the vein of keeping things fun as well, because it's not all work and no play, especially if we're in Las Vegas. At our Integration and Governance Expo area, we're going to have a selfie booth this year, just for fun. We have a little bit of a theme called the Tour de Analytics going on. It's a bike race theme, and you'll have an opportunity to sit on a bike, basically take a selfie of yourself sort of leading the pack of your fellow bike racers, and send that out to your email account, just to keep things light a little bit.
Hopefully there's no bike shorts involved in this.
No, I think we have a helmet and maybe some kind of props, but no bike shorts.
Thank you. We all thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Andrew, how about you? What else is going on in your side of the house?
Yeah, we got a similar sort of strategy or frame that Rob's laid out. So it starts off with we've got a keynote. So Tuesday morning we've got a keynote. So exactly as Rob had sort of mentioned, that's where we're going to hear from some of the leaders in Hadoop and Spark, talk about a little bit of a retrospective in terms of what's happened in the last, I guess by then it'll be 10 months, and then sort of give a hint in terms of what they can expect in the next quarter or two. So I've seen the keynote. There's some really exciting stuff. There's going to be some previews. Obviously, I can't really get into details here, but there's certainly going to be some previews in terms of where we're taking the technology. We've got the breakout sessions. We've got about 35, as I mentioned. Again, like Rob has as well, we've got both presence in the Expo Center as well as the Demo Center. And I think one of the themes you're going to see there is I mean, Hadoop and Spark is a fairly sort of big thing. We're really trying to focus on two things: big SQL. So a lot of things that we're seeing customers are asking for right now is, okay, we get Hadoop, we store data in Hadoop, but we want to be able to add value or get some sort of insight out of it. So what they're asking to do is to basically put SQL on top of Hadoop. So we're really focusing a lot of our both PED and Expo presence around big SQL. We really have a leading edge piece of technology there, and we want to give people an opportunity to see it and to talk to some of the experts. And that also cascades into the demo center as well, where they'll see demos of big SQL and stuff like that. I think we also got a fairly strong presence at DevAt. So for the folks who aren't necessarily familiar with that, that's something that started last year, and we're trying to make it sort of like a conference within a conference, but really for that developer or IT person to talk to a technical person and lose a little bit of the sort of the framework of a standard sort of trade show, where they've got lightning talks and ability to talk to your peer groups. They've got hackathons and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're trying to be everywhere, but we're really trying to get the information, depending on where you arrive, whether it's Expo Center or whatever, get you the information that makes sense during that type of conversation.
Great.
Yeah.
And this is really sorry, Ryan, this is really one of the first times that Hadoop and Spark is really at Insight in a really big presence, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, definitely. Hadoop as a technology has been around for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
We're really putting a lot of effort around it because we feel that it's sort of reached a maturity level that people are taking up and beginning to integrate it into production systems. Spark is something that really has come onto the market probably in the last 8 or 9 months. It's the most popular and the most well-supported open source project right now, and IBM has committed a significant amount of resources and sort of brain power on it. So we're really trying to capture that momentum and show that IBM's very serious and really trying to differentiate on it.
That's awesome. It's going to be exciting.
I should mention quickly that Hadoop will be pretty pervasive across the topic areas as well. So in the integration and governance area, just about a month ago now, we released a new product called Big Insights, Big Integrate, and Big Insights, Big Quality. And basically, for those of you familiar with the information server portfolio, this is the kind of a data integration tooling for use with the Big Insights platform, basically. So we're seeing Hadoop really flow into the more traditional data integration and data quality market as well. It's becoming a key piece, or one key piece of the puzzle for anybody doing that kind of work.
I'm detecting a theme with the word big.
Yeah.
So I think Insight, obviously one of the biggest IBM conferences, but I agree. I see so much from coming out of the Spark announcement earlier this year, and it just looks, for me, having my techie background, I love seeing this stuff firsthand. So Andrew talking about DevAt a little bit. We had a hangout again. I'll give another shameless plug for Brian and the team that's organizing all that in the Expo Hall this year. We had a hangout with Brian a couple weeks ago where we did a deep dive into that, and they have a whole manifesto. So it's open to all, but it's meant to. You're right. It's meant to be a completely different format from the breakout sessions or the panels, so that you can get hands-on. You can go there and talk to somebody in an Ask Me Anything format or a lightning talk format and really learn things quickly and get your hands dirty if you want to. So it's going to be really cool. So I think we're going to keep this short and sweet. So I just have one last question for everybody, Carol included. If this is another sort of standard question I like to ask the folks that join the IBM Insight Chat series. I just want to know, do you have any survival tips for Las Vegas or going to the large tech conferences? It could be anything. We've heard comfortable shoes. That's the easy one. You can't use that one. But do you have any sort of interesting or just battle-tested survival tips for the conference goers?
You're going to laugh, but because I've been doing events for well over 30 years at this point, I start taking airborne the week before I get on a plane.
Yeah, that's a good one. How about
Every
you,
day.
Rob?
I was going to say, try not to skip the meals. You get some
Right. Yeah, you gotta sometimes remember. That's a perfect one. You gotta remember
Yeah.
to eat and hydrate, and
Right.
and airborne is a perfect idea.
Right. I hear this year there is a coffee bar that'll be up on I think it's the second or third floor this year. That'll be open all the time. I know that's always a trick, right? They come and go.
Right.
Yeah, 45-minute gap where you can't get coffee, and that's a challenge for some people. So
It is important. The charging is important, and coffee is important. How about you, Andrew?
Yeah, I was going to say definitely stay hydrated. Keep a watch or something handy because I find you totally lose track of time. And I've totally sworn off red eyes. I think red eyes are totally overrated. So actually spend the extra night and waste a day, especially for us East Coasters.
Right.
But it's better to travel with the sun as opposed to against the sun.
That's perfect. And the tip that I will give is similar to hydration and all these great tips, but I'm Mr. Gadget Guy, as many people know that know me. But I always have at least 2 or 3 or 4 batteries that I can use to keep all my devices ready to rock and roll. So even if you're not prepared, if you find me, I'm like a mobile charging station. But it's key to have that, because the most fascinating thing I see with human behavior at these conferences, you'll see people charging their phone in the weirdest places, and I've come into a habit of actually taking photos of the always be charging moments where people are just in bizarre places charging things. So that is my survival tip: is prepare for keeping your devices and yourself up to speed.
Yep.
So with that, I appreciate your time today, everybody, for doing this. Thanks, Carol, for helping me co-host this week.
Of course.
And I guess we're going to sign off now, but encourage everyone to check out these sessions. It's really great content. It's a really unprecedented way to get firsthand access to the folks that are building these things, that are on the front lines of this technology. So with that, I hope to see you all in Vegas, and everyone watching online. We'll see you in about a week's time at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas at Insight 2015.
Great.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, guys.
thanks. Bye-bye.